stated that they were permitted to impersonate staff and contractors, provide false pretenses to gain access to facilities, tailgate employees into the buildings, and access restricted areas of those facilities. They could not subvert alarm systems, force open doors, or access areas that require protection. When they finally set off an alarm and waited where the door is, they explained what they were there to do. They found an unlocked door and manipulated several locking mechanisms. To add credibility, they produced an authorization letter detailing the work request. Deputies who arrived first were satisfied when they called some officials listed and the story was verified. Unfortunately, sometimes things don't go the way you expect. Things got heated up when Dallas Sheriff Chatelander stepped in and accused him of violating a clause in their contract. He said 3 things. 1, they admitted to forcing open the doors, even though they manipulated the door rather than just force it. 2, one official in the letter didn't respond, and one didn't realize physical methods would be used out of many that were called. 3, he accused them of shutting down the alarm, even though officials came because of the alarm. The charge was originally a felony third-degree burglary that dropped to misdemeanor trespass. On the other side, co-fire assumed this was the lasting judgment until hearings were held. 2 senators unexpectedly gave their own piece. State Senator Amy Sinclair subtly accused Iowa of dangerous practices by hiring an outside company. Senator Zach Whitting directly accused Iowa of contracting a company to commit a crime. The accused lawyer argued that the whole thing blew out of proportion. The case was fortunately dropped. In the end, a video interview was held. There was a long-standing relationship with coal fire in Iowa, with multiple projects already completed. This encompassed physical and cyber pen testing. The following statements are based on their understanding of the contract and suggest the accusations were false. 1, they did not circumvent anything. 2, they should show they possess the ability to get into locked doors, but not actually do it by showing pictures of tools or something. 3, forced entry is not the same as destructive entry. They either have to think about a different way to do it or explain why they have to do what they have to do. 4, they kept bypassing doors until they saw one they couldn't bypass, so they triggered it. 5, they didn't notify law enforcement unless they're asked. 6, they were asked to do it outside those hours. So what can we learn from this? Obviously, there was a lot of miscommunication, which eventually escalated into a bigger mess. They should be wary of this and secure better protections, plus have better worded contracts. As you see, all the parties had their own interpretation. Sometimes things just don't work as expected. They had a long-standing contract with multiple testing schemes created, but they were still treated as dangerous in this isolated incident. In conclusion, no matter how prepared you are, you can always be more prepared. Take what you learn from that not
for my previous class, the one I didn't complete last year.
Let's talk about it later. Okay. Anyway, all right. All right, so there's that one. And here's one from Erica. I'll do this one and then we'll do the others. All right.
Hi, my name is Erica, and I'm going to be talking about what mass surveillance entails, arguments for and against mass surveillance, how it relates to our security, and how effective it is on preventing terrorist attacks. Spoiler alert, it does not. I'm also going to be presenting this topic from a legal perspective. So what is mass surveillance? Basically, it is a government entity or corporation working on behalf of the government to monitor and collect data from an entire or considerable amount of the population. And this is very different from targeted surveillance, which is the monitoring of individuals, usually for a particular reason, such as counterterrorism. So why do we think we need mass surveillance? So post 9/11 attacks, Congress and Bush signed into law the Patriot Act to prevent any more terrorist attacks from happening in the United States, and we thus started our mass surveillance program we know today. Congress members and the administration were compelled to start the mass surveillance program in order to thwart terrorist attacks and to ensure our safety. However, to date, we have no record of mass surveillance preventing a major terrorist attack in the United States. Even internal reports within the Bush and Obama administrations and several members of the Senate have stated that mass surveillance is not effective and that traditional ways of getting information through informants, like families or community members, is far more effective in preventing terrorist attacks. Another argument proponents had at the time and now is that if an innocent person had nothing to hide, they shouldn't be afraid of being watched or of mass surveillance in general. I'll go over why that's a dangerous standpoint to have in the next couple slides. So before I talk about arguments about against mass surveillance, I'm going to briefly go over the First and Fourth Amendments. Here we see parts of the First and Fourth Amendments. I'm not going to read them through, but instead I'll talk about why they relate or how they relate to mass surveillance. So in 1958, the Supreme Court held that the First Amendment guarantees us a freedom of association. The case was NAACP versus Patterson, in which the District Attorney of Alabama demanded that the civil rights group give them a list of all their members. For more context, Alabama had one of the worst segregation laws of the South and had a long history of violence against Black people. The group refused and filed a suit and won eventually, which further established the freedom to associate with groups in anonymity as long as those groups are not breaking the law, which they had not been. So the Fourth Amendment protects our rights to privacy and freedom from unreasonable searches and seizures by the government. Basis for, this is the basis for search warrants, stop and frisk, wiretaps, and other forms of surveillance, and it really boils down to that we have a reasonable expectation of privacy, and any unreasonable searches require a warrant from a federal court. Of course, there are many exceptions for a warrantless search, such as an officer can perform one if they ask for consent and the person gave them their consent. There are plenty more if you're interested. I highly recommend looking at it because things that you think should be covered are not. Like if you're in a car and you don't have a reasonable expectation of privacy and the Fourth Amendment does not apply, but that's a tangent. So I'm going to go over the case to dismantle mass surveillance. So up until this point, we understand there is no evidence that mass surveillance has effectively prevented a terrorist attack against the United States. It doesn't even fulfill its sole purpose for existing. We should dismantle this program because not only is it not effective at doing its supposed job, but it also is negatively affecting us. The costs far outweigh the benefits, if there are any benefits at this point. It infringes on our rights to privacy and freedom of association as mandated by our First and Fourth Amendments. Since it's indiscriminate in nature, mass surveillance can be construed as unreasonable search by the government on US citizens, violating the Fourth Amendment. And what about breaches? There's no secret that countries, including ours, engage in cyber war against both enemies and allies abroad. However, our own government spies on all of its citizens en masse for no justifiable reason. And so the argument is there's no data to collect, then there's also no sensitive data to hack. And the last point is that it has a negative effect on our democracy. In the field of psychology, there's a well-studied phenomenon called the Hawthorne Effect that shows that people who know that they're being watched act differently and are more likely to comply on how they're expected to behave. Of course, this doesn't guarantee that people are going to act a certain way definitively, but just taking a step back, if we do want to continue having debates or encourage new ways of thinking, especially if it goes against the mainstream, we should not allow for indiscriminate mass surveillance. And that's my presentation. I have some works cited. This one and this one. And that's it. Thank you so much for listening.
All right. Well, that's good. All right. So now we got Alex. Alex, are you there? You're online, right? Let's see if Alex is around. Chat message. Yes, you're here. Good. All right, I'm going to turn off my share and you can share. Do you have slides, Alex? I reckon you probably do. How do I? Oh, I think I never had my share on anyway. Uh-oh. That probably means these recordings are no good.
It was going on.
It was sharing? It was showing? Oh, good. Okay, good. Hey, Alex, can you share yours? Good. He has. Good. Then, all right. Well, go ahead then. Can we hear you? Oh, let me unmute you. There, you're unmuted. We should, wait, you should be unmuted. There. Huh. All right, what's going on here? I hit unmute and nothing happens? Unmute all. Okay.
Back here. Hello?
Okay, yeah, now I can hear you. Go ahead.
Oh, hey guys. Hey, Sam.
Okay.
All right. Let me get this going.
All right, let me turn this down a little.
There we go.
Good.
Hi guys. My name is Alex Jacobo, and this is my presentation, Top 5 Security Trends for 2020. And, yeah, there we go. So number one, artificial intelligence, increasing roles in cyber attacks and defense. So gangs and organizations, including cartels, they've been using cyber attacks in the digital space. They're getting credit cards or bitcoins and.
Alex, we're only seeing the first slide.
Okay, you see my first slide?
We're not seeing anything but the first slide.
Oh wow, let me see.
I think you might be projecting on a different screen or something.
Oh, okay. Let me fix that right now.
Yep. Oh, that's better. Now I see it. Wait.
Yeah, I'll just go this way. So number one trend is artificial intelligence is increasing roles in cyber attacks. Gangs and organizations are using cyber activity, cyber hacking in order to get into the digital space, such as stealing data, ransomware, phishing for credit cards, and whatnot. AI is used in order to learn patterns faster, but we're not at the point where AI can think like a human yet. We have like a long way to go. So yeah, I don't know why it's not sharing. Oh, okay. I think I know why it's not sharing. Let's see. Do you guys see? You guys see this slide?
We're seeing one. Yeah, we're seeing the presenter view. It's good enough. We're seeing slide one now.
Okay. So I got that one done.
Yeah, there we are.
Cyber trend number 2 for 2020 is tensions are mounting with China and Russia. The trade war is still going on with China right now. And Russia recently tested an unplugged internet where a government-controlled internet limiting the citizens from accessing the global internet. That happened a couple weeks ago. Iran and China, they already do that, so they already censor the contents and they block outside internet. So it's a kind of a scary trend we're going into. I hope the United States doesn't go in that trend, but we'll see. Also, a lot of companies are getting blacklisted, such as Highway, I forgot how you pronounce that. Huawei, right? For spying, for allegedly spying and stealing information from American citizens. TikTok is also a Chinese-owned app. It's also under national security review right now. It was a company bought originally from an American company. Trend number 3, more tools are being developed by, especially from social media companies, but we all know that Facebook's not going to really do that. Even though Facebook claims they're making efforts to make technology to deter the fake news, but it's apparent that Mark Zuckerberg loves King Trump and has no intention of stopping fake news. Google is also creating tools in order to flag the fake news on its search engine. And China has been suspected in pushing pro-China propaganda around the Taiwan elections by using fake social media accounts. So you never know when our government's doing shifty things. Trend number 4, cybersecurity skills gap continue to grow. So there's a lot of opportunities out there to get into the cybersecurity space. There's more threats than there are jobs. So the cybersecurity jobs jumped from 1 million to 3.5 million from 2014. There's a lot of threats that include, but not limited to, fraud, political disinformation, finance hacking, identity theft. The average cost that a company loses is $8.19 million. But whenever a company implements cybersecurity measures, it drops to 2.6 million. Trend number 5, vehicle and Internet of Things hacking and data theft are increasing. These are pictures of devices you can use in order to hack a car. There's a lot of plans out there. Oh, and Ring also. It's getting very easy to hack a car nowadays. You can either buy the devices with the plans, or you can just build it yourself. So it's getting very accessible to do that. GPS devices, car alarms inside the vehicles have little to no security, including the communication and entertainment devices in your cars. The OBD devices that sends data to insurance companies are hilariously easy to hack because they just have no security protocol whatsoever, and they can just get all types of information on how your car works and whatnot. Bless you. Also, devices such as the Internet of Things, such as Ring, door security locks, baby video monitors, home appliances like your fridge, have no security whatsoever. APIs, the programming interface that you use in order to sign in websites, or they're pretty easily hackable these days. You just need a little time and the right software, and you can basically get anybody's cookies or passwords pretty easy. And nothing's safe or private anymore. That's me. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Good. All right. Let's see if I can, so why don't you stop sharing?
Okay.
And let me see who should be next. So we've had Erica, Vu, and Alex. I think we're down to Amparo. Amparo, you're online also. Do you want to share something?
Yes, I am going to share. Can you guys hear me okay?
Yeah, I hear you. And you should be able to share your screen or something if you have slides.
Okay, I am sharing now.
Well, so far we don't see anything. Just your name. This looks like something's coming up. Now we got a black screen.
Yeah, I just did a PC refresh, so I need to add some permissions here, if you'll bear with me.
Okay.
Okay, you know what? If someone else can go, permissions are having me exit out of Zoom, so I will be back.
All right. I'm going to stop the recording and we'll go on to 10 live. So I'm going to stop the